Hi, juniors. It's hard to believe in just about a week you will all be seniors. So that means it's that time of year for us to look at where you are headed and how to take care of all those senior tasks that you're going to need to do over the summer and in the fall. There are a number of things I want to cover on this slideshow, but this is only part of it. The entire PowerPoint presentation is going to be posted on the Walled Lake Central Counseling webpage. I strongly recommend that you access the PowerPoint as well as the links that are available to you. There are always lots of questions about college applications and financial aid. We hope to give you all the information you need so that you feel comfortable in September. There are a lot of options for high school students after they graduate, so it's important that you do some self-reflection and exploration so that you can begin down a path that you will enjoy. Some of you may begin a job immediately after high school, but that doesn't mean you won't be headed back to school. Sooner or later, you'll need to further your skills, especially if you want to make advancement or increase your salary. Those thinking about the military, be sure to look at all the angles. From enlisting first to enrolling in college and using an ROTC scholarship to pay for your education. That will allow you to enter the service as an officer. The skilled trades can be a perfect choice for many of you. In fact, there's a shortage in many of these high-paying areas. Occupations can be in areas like construction, manufacturing, the healthcare field, and service professions. There are too many to list here, but they include jobs such as airplane mechanic, welder, electrician, landscape technician, vet tech, and so on. You can get involved by either gaining skills in school first or seeking out an apprenticeship program where you work and learn at the same time. Again, links and information are available on the Central Counseling webpage. There will be links to directories of trade schools, job postings, and how to get into an apprenticeship program. Community college or a four-year university? More and more students struggle with that question now. What will be right for you? Well, there's a few things to consider. How do you figure out what's best for you? Finances may come into play. Location. Do you want to live in Michigan? Do you want to live near home or at home? Career goals. Not every career requires a four-year degree. Some require only a two-year degree or a certificate. Others will require a master's degree, which is 6 years, or even a doctorate. What are you personally looking for in a college experience? Sport, clubs, internships, or research? It's important that you find a school that will have what you need. As the cost of education increases, more students are looking at the community colleges, either to complete their education or to begin their education. 2 or more years at home gives some people an opportunity to mature or to save the costs of room and board. Some students just need to begin again, reestablish their GPA. If high school's been a struggle, you may find college much more up your alley, with evening classes, a new start, and established goals. This next page is in your handouts along with a number of other items. Notice that some schools along the left side of the page have open enrollment. They don't exclude students based on their GPA. That includes Baker College and all community colleges. As you move toward the right, the schools become more and more selective, and they become more difficult to get into. There is a school for everyone. It's just a matter of finding the right fit. Colleges generally use a number of criteria to evaluate students. Your academic record is important, but the more selective the school, the more closely they look at other things as well. Have you challenged yourself with honors or AP classes? Your test scores are always a consideration. The college's goal is to admit students who will be successful at their school. A few schools may want a personal essay or statement. Surprisingly, many do not, but for those that do, they want to hear about who you are. Be honest, creative, and descriptive, and be careful to stay on topic. Recommendations are not required for all schools either. When they are, choose teachers who you know well. Okay, let's take a look at the components of a college application. Probably the most important thing, follow the instructions. I could say that multiple times, follow the instructions, but some applications are simply discarded because students didn't follow all of the instructions, including deadlines and what to include. You've got the application, which most schools want to be completed online, and the application fee, which is also paid online with a credit card. The transcripts, that will be sent to the school through either Parchment or directly through Common App. ACT and SAT scores. Now those items you will need at every college. There's no college that won't want those. Your test scores are your responsibility. So if you provided ACT or SAT with your school of choice when you took the test, those test scores have already gone. If you haven't, then you'll need to get onto their website and request those scores to be sent to your college. Notice that not all colleges require counselor recommendation, teacher recommendation, or a personal statement or essay. So if they want it, you need to get it to them. If they don't bog them down with unnecessary information. Follow the instructions. Competitive schools have the luxury of looking more closely. Schools that only admit 12-17% of their applicants may even look at your social media. Your social media can say a lot about you, your party habits, your relationships with others, even your politics. Sometimes students post foolish things as a joke or just for fun. Be careful, clean it up. It can damage your reputation. Letters of recommendation. The student information forms are in your packet as well. There are 3 different forms. One that is to provide the counselor with information, one is for your teacher, and there's one that a parent could fill out if they find that it might be useful. Common App will require letters of recommendation. In that case, you can have one recommendation from your counselor and 1 or 2 from teachers. In other cases, you need to determine if the college you're applying for requires a letter of recommendation. Provide your teachers with the brag sheet. Remind them of impactful events that happened in class. Remind your counselors of any extenuating circumstances during your high school years. It's your responsibility to ask your teachers, thank them appropriately, and give them time. Some teachers get multiple requests for letters of recommendation. So give them time and understand if they need to say no, they may have too many letters to write in 1 year. The primary way students request a transcript is through Parchment. Parchment is an easy, user-friendly way to move secure documents around. Parchment is like a clearinghouse. They house the transcripts once Central uploads them to Parchment. Students must then go into Parchment to have them released to the university. It's not difficult, but it's easy to get lost in the program. It's worthwhile to spend a little bit of time this summer familiarizing yourself with Parchment. One nice feature is you can track your transcript to see if it's been sent and if it's been received. The very first step with Parchment is to register. We'd like to see you register before the end of the year, but it's really something you need to get done during the summer at the very least. You will go into Parchment, click Sign In, sign up. It asks for some personal information, and you'll receive a confirmation through email. So there's really very few things to do in order to get registered with Parchment. You do not need to complete the entire profile in order to be registered. You'll be much more comfortable with Parchment in the fall if you get on there now and register. Look around the site, get familiar. The link on this page, the red arrow, will take you to a video that is put out by Parchment with step-by-step instructions. There's also a handout in your packet with these instructions. And it would be a good idea to find a safe place to keep this entire packet during the summer and next year. You'll probably refer back to it multiple times. Here you're looking at the Parchment instruction handout. It is a front and back page and lists 10 steps from registering on Parchment to sending your transcript. You must select Walled Lake Central as your sending school. That's the school you're attending now, and we will be sending the transcript. If you attended more than one high school, you may need to send transcripts from that school as well. If you do not get the opportunity through this process to sign your name using the mouse, you've not finished. You need to go back and see what you forgot. You should find a box labeled Send Transcript or Select Your Destination. This will lead you to select what colleges you want your transcript to go to. So you will be sending your transcript when you apply to colleges. You may also have a college that wants to see your 7th semester grades in January. You will use Parchment again. And finally, when you decide on what school you will be attending, you will need to send your final June transcript through Parchment once more. For the January and June transcripts, you can request them ahead of time and indicate that you want the next marking period grades sent. And then your transcript will be held until the January grades are posted or until the June grades are posted, and then it will automatically be sent to the school that you select. This is a nice way to apply to multiple schools using the Common App. With over 600 colleges and universities using the Common App, it can save a student a lot of work. A number of Michigan schools use it now: University of Michigan, Kalamazoo College, Albion, Lawrence Tech, Kettering, and Hope. Most competitive out-of-state schools also use the Common App. It's important to watch that the colleges you're applying to, that you have found individual supplements that they may have. It's also important that you advise your counselor that you're using the Common App. They will receive an email from Common App, but by letting them know ahead of time, they'll know to watch for it. While more and more of our schools in Michigan are using the Common App, they do tell us that they've joined it to bring in out-of-state students. If they still have their own application, for example, Wayne State has their own Wayne State application, they prefer that their Michigan students use that application rather than the Common App. When using the Common App, double-check your teachers' and counselors' email so that they get the link to submit their recommendation. Usually you can select up to 2 teachers plus your counselor. We upload the letters and the transcript directly to Common App online. No need to use Parchment for that. Don't forget to provide your teachers and your counselors with the student information sheets. It will help us make the best possible recommendations. This is just a screenshot of the Common App so that you're familiar with it. Essay prompts are available now. They're actually using the same essay prompts that were used last year. You can apply online with Common App beginning on August 1st. This is a step-by-step guide to the college application process at Walled Lake Central. There's a copy of this page in your packet. There is also a link to it on the website. Read the instructions carefully. Follow them step by step and you'll breeze through this process and be able to sit back and wait to hear from the college while focusing on your senior year. Remember to thoroughly read everything on the college admissions website. There is usually a way to track the process of your application and be sure that everything was received. If you don't hear anything for some time, call the school. Ask them if there's anything missing or anything they may need from you to add to the application. It's up to you to watch your timeline. Follow up with the admissions office if you have questions or concerns, and to know the status of your application. Don't let time get away from you. The sooner you apply, the sooner it's off your plate. September is a good month to begin applying to colleges. Transcripts will be released from Central beginning the second week of September. Remember, too, that colleges prefer that you apply online using an electronic application. Also, think about that SAT score, or maybe you took the ACT. If you want to retake it, there are test dates in September and October. In your packet, there is some information about those exact test dates and the websites. Sign up to take any tests as soon as it's open for registration. There are many students looking to retake the SAT now, and the number of test sites has not increased yet, so those that apply early will have the opportunity. Financial aid includes everything from scholarships to loans to work study. The first step in any financial aid is to complete the FAFSA. Notice there has been a change in the date that you can begin filing that FAFSA form. It's always been January 1st. Now, the 1st of October is that date. Hopefully, parents came to the financial aid night that we had this month in the district, but because October 1st is going to come around much more quickly than January, families need to start thinking about it now. The sooner you apply, the more money there is available. The financial aid officers at the university are a good resource for families too. Call them. We have folders in the counseling office with information for families that could not make the presentation. Remember too that financial aid can be used at any school. It doesn't have to be a four-year university. Joe's School of Auto Collision will use the same grants, scholarships, and loans that U of M will take. Start looking for money now. Okay, the year is almost over. What do I do now in this summer? Finish strong. Nail those finals. Also of great importance, know the graduation requirements and where you stand. In your packet, there's a self-audit sheet. Compare graduation requirements with your transcripts. Those are also being handed out to you today. Ultimately, you are responsible for your graduation. If you have credits to make up, do it this summer. If you wait until fall, you're adding unnecessary stress. Avoid waiting for second semester. It'll go by so quickly, I don't want anyone finding that they didn't get credit recovery finished in time to graduate. Also this summer, or even before the end of the school year, you're going to be looking at those letters of recommendation, creating your account on Parchment, and of course updating that EDP in your resume on Career Cruising. Research colleges and tech schools online. Make some visits. Tech schools especially may be going year-round, so in the summer you'll still be able to see how it's run during the day. These are samples of the student information sheets. Notice there are 3 different pages. They're toward the back of your packet. They're also located on the wall in the counseling office near the printer. Turn them in before you need a letter. Give staff time to write a good letter and not rush through something. If you don't plan ahead, things may not go as planned. Athletes, just like there's links to many other important documents, there's a link to the NCAA clearinghouse. You must be registered with NCAA prior to graduation if you want to be playing at the university level. NCAA has a great web page. Look around if you're even thinking about playing sports in college. Be sure you have enough core classes, and know that E2020 classes are not acceptable for athletes. So you have plenty to do this summer. Remember, the more you accomplish now, the less stressful and more enjoyable your senior year will be. Again, visit the counseling website. This was a shortened, condensed version of the PowerPoint that's being posted on that website. Be sure to get any of your questions answered by checking that out first. Look for links. They're there to help you. And have a productive and fun summer.